Today's reading is Psalm 126. Restore again our fortunes, O Lord. How vivid this psalm is, how full of emotion, how evocative, and how easy to identify with the feelings expressed here. The people look back on past blessings. Then were we like those who dream. Then was our mouth filled with laughter. Happy times, carefree. That sense of God's favour, of life being good. And everyone around saw and noticed and praised God. That experience for the psalmist is in the past. It's remembered with nostalgia, with renewed joy at the memory, but it's not a present reality. The second half turns to the prayer for the present. Restore our fortunes, O Lord, like you did before. The watercourses of the Negev would run dry in certain seasons, but would fill and overflow at other times. Hard to believe, in times of drought, that they would ever run again. But patient waiting would find the streams fill again. Let this be our experience, O Lord, prays the psalmist. Fill our hearts with joy and laughter again. Bring us back to that place of happiness and security. The image changes to farming, and the contrast between sowing, never knowing what would come of the seed, and reaping, when the harvest has come bountifully. If we weep tears, O Lord, at least let them water the furrows and make the seed grow better. Turn our tears into joy, our weeping into laughter. What a good prayer this is for us as we emerge from the pandemic and as we try to take up the reins of life again, as our economy struggles to recover, as we wonder whether the time of tears is really over or whether it will come back again before we have relaxed into the shouts of joy. And this prayer is prayed to the God who specialises, we might say, in turning tears into joy. The Israelites experienced that so many times in their history, at the Exodus, at the exile and restoration, and many times in between. The disciples in the Gospel found it out when their Lord was taken and put to death, and yet rejoined them 3 days later. How their tears were turned into joy. Do you know the hymn, "O worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness"? I always find it so moving. It has the beautiful line, "Mornings of joy give for evenings of tearfulness," based perhaps on this psalm and on Psalm 30, which says, "Weeping may linger for the night, but joy comes in the morning." We pray that each morning that dawns we may know more of that joy. And when the morning dawns that will never darken, may we be at one with the joy of heaven.